I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore yesterday. I do that sometimes. Deal with it. With that out of the way, let's talk about this glorious Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon of an episode. Oh my god. I am a huge Looney Tunes fan. I am a huge Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner fan. I consider them one of the all-time greatest animated silent slapstick duos. I think the only other animated slapstick duo that comes anywhere close is Tom and Jerry. I absolutely love the whole dynamic of the two characters. The fact that the Roadrunner wins without even trying. I just think that is the most hilarious dynamic. And to see it so faithfully recreated in an episode of another show that I love so much was just a joy to behold. Because even though it wasn't silent slapstick comedy throughout the whole thing, it was very clearly an homage, a very clear throwback to the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons. With the Corrupted Gem, of course, taking on the role of the Roadrunner and Peridot taking on the role of Wile E. Coyote, complete with crazy mechanical traps that completely backfire. With absurd plans that should work within the universe of the show and still completely backfire. It was just so much fun, and I think I could probably just leave the review there. It's an incredibly fun, hilarious episode. Even the reaction of the other gems to the entire situation is absolutely hysterical. But this episode still manages to do so much more. It is basically a glorious 11 minutes of a throwback to this old cartoon style. But it also manages to be a legitimate episode of Steven Universe too. With Peridot learning to not only sympathize and not only empathize with the corrupted gems and get in their head, but learning to appreciate how much work it takes to capture one of the corrupted gems, learning to appreciate the work that the others do, and becoming for the first time a real part of the team. Yeah, she's worked with the others before, but this is the first time that she has worked with them on something that the crystal gems have stood for thousands of years. And if any of you are even listening to me right now, if you can even hear me over the sound of your own laughter, because I am going to be putting the slapstick stuff up here, I want to talk very briefly, because this review is going to be very brief, I want to talk very briefly about the dynamic between Steven and Peridot in this episode. For a large majority of the series, Steven has been the learner. He has been the one learning things. He has been the one taught things by the other gems. He's had to learn how to deal with corrupted gems. He's had to learn the most effective ways of fighting them. He's had to learn how to work with the rest of the team. But in this episode, he gets to be the teacher. He gets to impart that knowledge and wisdom on someone else, in this case, Peridot. And that role reversal was just so fun to see. It really shows how much Steven has come into his own. And with Peridot clearly having powers, but thinking her entire life that she didn't, she's in a similar position to Steven before his powers started to manifest. And it would be so cool to see this dynamic carry through to that, with Steven helping Peridot to discover her gem abilities. If I'm not mistaken, this is technically speaking the first episode of Season 4. If that is the case, then even though this was a pretty simple episode with a pretty simple message, that was clearly made, for the most part, just to be incredibly fun, it has got my hopes high for Season 4. Because I feel like this episode did a fantastic job of setting the stage for one of the main themes of Season 4, for what one of the main themes of Season 4 can be. And that is Steven coming into his own and helping others to come into their own. And I'm so excited about that. But guys, if you have seen this episode, what did you think of it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.
Here we go.
Meep, meep.